Right, October Red Boxing, we are here with the champion, and I'm going to be positive and say soon to be undisputed champion. Welcome and thank you for being a guest.
Thank you for your time.
Your gym, a famous gym. I was just speaking to your coach about his fighters. And because you haven't been on the channel before, I wanted our guests to know a little bit about how you ended up in this gym. Because I spoke to Jamie and he said you was at the point where you were thinking, is boxing for me? Talk to us a little bit about that and you reaching out, and obviously the rest is history.
Yeah, so basically I was with a different team before, weren't too happy. Long story short, my last fight there, I was at Yorkshire and I fell out of love with the sport. I remember I was fighting, I was thinking, I didn't want to be here because of stuff that was happening, and I was thinking, this is shit. Like, I remember I was fighting the girl and I was thinking, I was in the ring and I was just thinking, this ain't for me. And I won the fight, luckily. And remember, like, my mum and dad were like, oh, that's it now, like, you can't go into fights feeling like that because of stuff that was happening, like, not for me training and stuff, just stuff that was happening around boxing, and I just weren't happy and this and that. So I can remember I was like, yeah, do you know what, I was getting stars in my eyes, I was run down, and obviously my body was like, I was very stressed, and the stars were, I kept going doctors and they just kept coming back all the time. So for me it was a point where, like, guys, it's clearly not good for my health. I spoke to, he was one of my sponsors at the time, and I was saying, like, look, I'm going to pack this in now, blah, blah, blah. And he went, he spoke to Jamie Moore, and I was like, Jamie Moore? No, but I used to always watch Carl Frampton. So I used to always watch Carl Frampton's Instagram and everything, and I used to always watch him at the gym and the buzz he used to have with Jamie, and I used to think, really, they look like good people. I don't know, it was just something that like attracted me to Jamie and Nigel in the gym. There was something, I was watching it for months and months, and I was too shy to speak to Jamie myself. So this guy gave Jamie a call saying, like, would you be interested in a female fighter? And I was kind of thinking, he ain't gonna be interested. He's got Carl Frampton and that, like, why would he want a woman? And because there was no women here. And then yeah, Jamie gave me a call, come up here, and the rest is history.
How important is that then? Because if you'd literally took your own advice and that person didn't say, you know what, try this coach, we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation now. You're on the road to becoming an undisputed champion. But you said there's something that's really important, to have a good, solid team behind you.
Yeah, it wasn't even just me, it was more my family were sick of seeing me, like, crying over boxing, getting stars in my eyes. Like, my health was just not good, so for my family it was like, it's not worth it. And back then I weren't world champion, I was fighting for titles and stuff, but it was nothing like it is now. So they were just saying, like, just give up, like, what are you doing? And I was kind of the same, but again, it was weird. It was something that I just kept watching Jamie and that, and just thinking, I really like them. And but yeah, so now, like I always say, that boxing is fun. So as much as you feel pressure, you get nervous and that, I remember that this is a sport and this is fun, and I generally just love fighting. So it could be any kind of fighting, I just love fighting. So why be hard on yourself and why get stressed over the things that you can't control? So
when you notice the differences between the two coaches and obviously the differences between your mindset, I think you've been here, is it 4 or 5 years now?
5 years now.
Looking back to then to now, talk to me a little bit about that difference and how it's affected your performance and your health. Like you said, you was getting stars in your eyes, all of that kind of stuff. People need to understand that it's not just a straight road with boxing. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Boxing's a hard sport. There's ups and downs. So if you look, my career's been like that, literally. And
we can't see that.
yeah, it's been up and down. And I think before my last fight, like, I was really frustrated of not getting the tournament final with Caddy Reese and stuff. And it was kind of like, oh, for God's sake, I keep touching it and I'm not getting big fights. I'm always close to a big fight, and then something will happen and it will drift away from me. But I think, what's the question again?
Like having obviously a good team.
Oh yeah, a good team, yeah. And so the difference between, if you watch my fights, the start of my career to now, you see my confidence, and I think that's what I say to everyone is, I just feel like I'm completely different. Like, I have fun in the ring where I'll, like, wind my opponents up a bit, I'll drop my hands, you see confidence coming out of me, whereas before you see my shoulders, I'm tense, I look like I've got the world on my shoulders, and I'm trying so hard. Like I'm always trying so hard to impress and stuff. Whereas with Jamie and Nige, I know that I don't have to impress them. Like they're proud of me anyway. They don't care if I win or lose. Obviously they want me to win, but they don't put no pressure on my shoulders whatsoever. And I think that comes out in my fighting. And even talking, I used to hate talking. I used to really, really struggle with interviews and stuff. Whereas since being with Jamie and Nigel, they've just changed me as a person. They've made me confident, like kind of being myself, and kind of fuck what everyone thinks, kind of thing. And that's what I do now. I think people always gonna have something bad to say about you anyway, and just be me. And the people don't like it, they don't like it. But that's it.
And that is spot on. The fight that you had with Mary McGee, we saw that, you know, she came over quite confident. I remember I watched it. I was there. A confident fighter, somebody from the US, kind of like similar to the energy that Alicia had. Yeah. So it was you were thinking, how's this fight going to go? The confidence, like you said, it was more pronounced with her. Yeah. But you gave her such a beautiful schooling in that ring. Going back to that and reflecting on that, how did you feel post-fight after all of the lead-up and like, even myself thinking, probably Mary's going to do this?
I was thinking, thank God that's over. Christmas around the corner. Yeah, it was a great fight, and I'd like to see her out again soon. Like, I don't think she's fought since, so I hope to see her back out again soon because she's a great fighter. But yeah, I was just like, I showed people as well that I'm tough and I can take a shot, and if someone's going to come get in my face, I'm going to stand there and trade with them as well. Like, I'm not no pushover.
One thing I will say about you is you know, you are a pure boxer. I like to see that in the ring, but you did show the aggression with her. When she was trying to push you back against the ropes, you had that IQ, that boxing skill to literally push back and say, no, actually, this is my ring. We saw, obviously, you performed against Bustos, and now we're going against Jessica McCaskill, who we know is an aggressive. She's somebody that's not afraid to get into a dogfight. I spoke to your coach about her style and your style, but in your words, how do you see those two styles deflecting or gelling together?
I think our styles are going to gel. I think they're going to gel. Like, I don't want to get in a wrestling match with her. Like, I know she's a bit swingy, a bit rough around the edges and stuff. So for me, it's like, I want to have a dogfight, but let's do it clean. Like, let's do it so the fans are going to enjoy it and it's not going to be ugly to watch. Not where people are like, oh God, this is boring now. They're just slugging it out and all that. Like, for me, it's I want to have a dogfight, but I want to be landing punches, hurting, but looking good as well.
Which I'm sure is something that you will do. And reflecting on that, the all-female card that Boxer had on, as a female, like you said, even when you approached your coach, you were thinking, there's no females in this gym. I wonder if he's going to have me. Still, in this day and age, female fighters are thinking that. To see on Saturday a total pure all-female card. What did you think watching that?
It was absolutely class from start to finish. It was unbelievable. The production, the fighting, it lived up to the hype. Everyone been excited for that card for a long time, and on the night it was just unbelievable, and every single female fighter on there was such a credit to the sport and done us all proud.
They did indeed. And if I could ask, could you give your thoughts on the two main, with the main and the co-main? We'll start off with Mayer and Baumgardner. Your thoughts on that and how their styles went, or clearly didn't?
To be honest, when I watched it, I thought Mayer did just nick it, but I would say it's what the judges were favouring. I think it was a great fight. Alicia was throwing some hurtful shots and boxing really nicely, and Mayer's catching over a good jab and everything, but I think it's what the judges were preferring, and obviously on the night that's preferring Alicia. But a great fight. Would definitely love to see it again.
How important is it then? And you're, like I said, you're going into an undisputed fight when it's that close, when literally somebody could say, you know, yourself's won, or somebody could say Jessica's won. How important then does it make that fight to you to maybe probably take it out of the judges' hands and go for a stoppage?
So for me, I think it's about mixing up. So literally catching the judges' eyes and being dominant where they can't go against me. So I know with McCaskill, like, she wants to fight, she wants to swing, but she can't box like me. So that's the difference. Whereas I can box, I can fight, and for me, I'm just gonna be pinging her head back and forth so that the judges are gonna be watching me.
I like that. And then your thoughts on the headline with Savannah versus Clarissa. Your thoughts on that?
Wow, what a fight. Unbelievable. Obviously, very gutted for Savannah. I was really rooting for Savannah, but Clarissa was just, she was unbelievable. I was watching her and I thought, the skills, like, she, never seen a woman box like it, to be honest. I know, like, you shouldn't really say that because women's boxing's along with the men's and everything, but she just had everything. She was just head movement, on the back foot, coming forward. I was really impressed, yeah. But I think Savannah's such a good boxer as well, and Savannah will come back and see it again.
Very humbling defeat Savannah was, and it was almost like sad because, you know, quite a few of the Brits were rooting for Savannah to win. You know, she put up a picture where, you know, her head is hung, but she's giving credit to her opponent. You know, you see that, you're going for the marbles, you're going for the belts as well. What did that make you think as a fighter when you saw Savannah put that post up? As a reflection.
To be honest, as Savannah's friend, it was quite sad. It was really sad, and it's something I didn't really want to watch and witness. So it was very sad. But then I spoke to Jamie in that, and it was kind of like, I got to get back down to business again. Like, kind of, it's a selfish sport, ain't it? And as much as I was good for Savannah, and it was nice to see, kind of got, I'm not Savannah.
But it's good that you've got an opinion as a fan as well, because sometimes fighters will switch off and they only concentrate on what they're doing all the time. So it's good to hear that yourself, you know, who's a champion, who's going for undisputed, can actually look at that and say, from a fan's point of view, yeah, I kind of felt sad because she's a friend and I wanted her to win.
And she deserves it. Like, Savannah's, what she's done in boxing is unbelievable in the amateurs. To be honest, I could never see her getting beat. So I know Clarissa's an unreal boxer, but I think you're kind of biased to your people you've known for so long. Like, we've been on GB together for years, and that I was just like, she can't be beat. She's gonna land a big shot, or she's gonna pull it out of the bag. Because I think in my mind I was just rooting for her that much. I was like, she can't be beat. She's gonna shock the world.
Speaking about shocking the world, I know you mentioned obviously about your two styles going together, yourself and Jessica. You're saying that you've got a variety, but how do you want that fight to go? Stoppages, points, but an emphatic victory. Talk to us.
I want to show improvements. I think that's the main thing for me. I want everyone in the arena to be impressed by my style and think, God, she can fight. A bit like Clarissa was, is to be like, God, she can really do it all. And for me, just a dominant win.
We like it. Thank you so much for your time, Chantelle, for being a guest and inviting us up to your gym. All the best. November the 5th is Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi, thank you.
Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.